2,000 people in Myrtle Beach done tested positive.
Oh, yeah.
Man, look, you see how lit they was out there when I posted that video?
They
was lit out there,
it's
man.
A wrap for Myrtle.
Well, nobody wearing no mask. I said, yo,
they
I'm
said
done.
everybody that's been to Myrtle in the past, like, was it how many days? Everybody needs to be tested. I was like, whoo.
That shit crazy.
You wouldn't have caught me out there anyway.
Yeah.
I want no problems.
That shit crazy.
No problems, senor.
Rona, get on you.
Rona, get on you.
I saw yesterday, Hugo, he tested positive for coronavirus.
After he passed
that
out.
passed out on stage.
Yeah.
God,
at the comedy show.
Yeah, I saw him the video of him passing out. Golly, man. Yeah, it's serious. This is serious, man.
That's
why
I'm
thermometers and test niggas and all that, man.
That's why I'm like, motherfuckers talking about we going back to school August 17th. Shit. Seems like past couple weeks, even North Carolina, like, it's been.
Yeah. Man, look, have you seen, I've been reposting little Facebook trends of the COVID stuff, man. I ain't doing nothing but going up. Niggas don't want to stay in the house. I be in the crib, man.
I've been in the crib too long. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been to work since March 13th.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? Like 3 months. My school out now.
Yeah, man. It's gonna get heavy, man. It's definitely gonna get heavy. How's everybody's week?
Mine was good.
Yours was good?
Yeah, I had a good week.
You had a good week too?
Yeah.
How's little Riley?
He's good.
Okay. He's not cutting up, is he?
No, he's full.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Cameraman, what's going on? How's your week?
It was great. Have fun. You know, food, eat, sleep, repeat.
Okay. Cool. I did some fun stuff this weekend. My mom's birthday was yesterday, so we had a little shindig for her. Cousins from out of town came. And,
happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, man. She definitely enjoyed herself, man. She had no idea.
Are we still?
Yeah, she's a Gemini. She's the last. She's the last of the Geminis.
Come on.
That sound like
but it is now Cancer season. We is in here. We is popping. We about to get lit. I'm lit every podcast for the rest of the month.
When your birthday?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Cancer season is here. Y'all Geminis, we let y'all have y'all fun. Y'all had.
Gemini?
Yeah, absolutely.
oh shit.
Gemini.
Friends. What happened?
Gemini women mean as hell. Nah, I'm just playing.
It is beyond me.
I can't talk.
Look, don't let Tia watch this. she gonna get you too. Curry, you talking shit. Oh man.
Geminis are everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my pops is a Gemini.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, all the all the Gemini women I know, y'all pretty cool. The girl that made you a little painting, she's a Gemini.
I know.
You saw it. Yeah,
I saw that.
And I was like, don't let them find out they
know
know June Gemini, man. Take that shit and run with it. You'll take that shit and run with it. But yes, my birthday is coming up. Hey, Naeem, when you edit this, put right here my Cash App, right? I'm accepting all $31 donations, $32 donations, $32.50 donations, whatever you want to give. Oh man, I'm accepting it all.
Why you keep looking at me? I haven't said any words.
Because you make faces.
Oh well.
And I see it when I look back at the footage.
I can't do anything about that.
I see it when I look back at the footage.
Can't do anything about it.
Oh man, but yeah. So we got Curry here. I didn't even do intros. KvngBak, aka Dad Hat Poppy, aka Bandana Sanchez. I got Miss Vee here with me. Cameraman AJ here with me, and of course I got the infamous Jay Curry here.
I'm here.
Po Durham, what's happening? So look, y'all. Curry hit me up. He said, "Man, look." He said, "I need the platform." I said, "What's up, man?" He said, "I got some shit to get off my chest." I said, "All right, Curry, say no more. Come through." What's up, Curry?
I'm here. Yeah.
Let's get into it, man. What's going on?
Well, first of all, let me say R.I.P. to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. But those are just three. It's a long line of individuals who are of African American. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct.
It's a long list. I saw a list today, and it was of black people that we have never heard of that have been gunned down by the police. And when I say I've been researching so much since George Floyd died, I don't know if y'all remember Laquan McDonald. I think 2014 in Chicago, the police shot him 16 times. They tried to say that he was the threat because he had a knife. The officer who shot him, when he pulled up, it took him 6 seconds to park his car and to shoot this young man. And then when he fell to the ground, he unloaded his clip.
That's ridiculous.
He fired 16 shots in, I want to say, 23 seconds. So we have a problem in America because I feel like the majority of white people look at black people as still being inferior. And I just had to get that off my chest. It's a lot I want to get off my chest because we got black men getting killed by white police officers at an alarming rate. I just saw a news article today that was printed last year. This ragged ass phone. The LA Listen, the LA Times put out that black men dying at the hands of white police officers is a leading cause of death in our community.
That's ridiculous.
Not heart disease, even though it's high. Not diabetes. Not cancer. Not even black on black crime. I'm gonna show it to y'all once I get it up.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like I think with the social awareness now has gravitated towards that, so we are now seeing it more. Mm-hmm. One thing that kind of stood out to me was today. Actually, Tia posted it today. She said she posted a video of the guy, one of the 4 police officers that was involved in the George Floyd incident, was out on bail.
Right.
Not out on like a small amount of bail. He's out. Was it 7,500,000 or something like that? First of all, coming from a criminal justice background, working in the court system, that's low as hell for a murder charge.
Right.
You know, so
but
I'm wondering
10% of that.
Right. So I'm
that sometimes.
Right.
I'm looking at let's just say upwards to 15 because I know in Guilford County you're paying 15. The bondsman is making you pay that 15%. Right. So I'm thinking about it like this. Okay, cool. So they charged him with murder. I have never seen less than $1 million bond on a black person who has been charged with never less than. Sometimes the motherfuckers don't get no bond. Exactly. They're on a hole with no bond.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they gave him a bond in the first place is wild. Yeah. The second thing is the amount of the bond. Because when I saw the amount, now I have more questions. It's like, okay, so what did y'all actually charge him with? Because y'all didn't charge him with murder.
They charged him initially with 3rd-degree murder. That was something that I had never heard of.
It's
and I've been in criminal justice system. I grew up with a lawyer. I've never heard of 3rd-degree murder.
So it's different states have different statutes that they can charge you with. Okay. So in North Carolina, you probably would never hear of 3rd-degree murder. It's only first and second, and manslaughter. Right. That's really the 3 main ones you're gonna hear. Right. Now you go out to somewhere like let's say Texas, you have things like 3rd-degree murder and stuff like that. And I've seen that.
Like 12 states that still do have a 3rd-degree murder.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Because I was confused.
Yeah, so it's different states will charge you with the charges that they can charge you with. The name of them can be something different.
Right.
So you'd have to look at that state, what they consider third degree murder, because they may be something slightly above manslaughter, and that's what I'm thinking they charged them with. You know, something similar to manslaughter. Because there's no way you're gonna get that low a bond on a murder charge.
But this is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, ladies.
Oh no! The only thing what I was going to say is, as far as we're talking about the guys that involved in the George Floyd murders,
right.
But the only one that was charged with murder, if I'm not mistaken, was the main guy. The other three weren't charged with the same charge.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can see that. I mean, I think
that's a problem.
I honestly think they all should have been charged the same. And,
that's a problem.
You know, because you witnessed it happen, you didn't stop.
You let it go on.
That's your job.
Police officer, right?
Yeah, that's
you
your
let
job.
it go on.
You let it happen,
right?
And then also it was said that 2 of them were rookies, and so their lawyer helped them get lower bonds because he was saying that they were only following the orders.
And I can see that the manipulation of the police department is very rampant. Mm-hmm. If I join the police department next month, somebody that's been there 20 years, they're gonna lay it on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he could be corrupt as hell. My problem with it, though, this whole situation, because I'm not surprised at the bond. I'm looking forward to him not being charged or convicted with murder, because we've seen it too many times. With Trayvon Martin, you had somebody that appointed themselves as neighborhood police and killed a teenager, and then he rode off into the sunset. And they broadcasted it on national television when they let him go.
Right.
Same thing with Laquan McDonald, a 17-year-old Chicago kid. The officer, he got convicted, but he got 6 years. He got 6 years in prison. If you look at Walter Scott, that's probably the only black man that I know that's got true justice, because when he was getting chased by that cop and the cop decided I'm gonna kill him, and then the cop planted that gun, the cop didn't bank on the fact that you had a kid over here behind a fence that recorded the entire thing.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. And it's power in that, man.
Right.
It's power in that. It's power in witnessing things. For instance, I think it was on Capitol Boulevard a couple of weeks ago. They shut down the fucking intersection for a traffic accident.
Right.
Did you see it?
I did.
They had the young man, hands in head, outside of his vehicle. He had just gotten into a car accident. They blocked, I think it was Capitol, man, but they blocked off the entire intersection. Cops were pulling up, not knowing what's going on, going straight for the heavy artillery.
Yeah.
Holmes literally pulled up, opened the trunk, and grabbed the shotgun. I'm like, I'm looking at it like, yo, and they keep telling him to open the door. My man is scared. He's like, yo, I'm not moving. I'm not opening any doors.
Right.
So it was I think the guy was Hispanic, but he was across the street next to the person that was filming.
Right.
And came over and opened the door. First of all, I'm surprised they let him do that.
Right.
Because I'm surprised they
let him do that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let him do that. But, you know, he was trying to diffuse the situation because he didn't want to see that young man die.
Right.
You
Because
know?
that was coming.
Yeah.
It was coming.
All them cops out there, somebody was getting shot.
Look at what the
He had
kid.
charges before.
Yeah.
that.
Look at what happened to the kid in Charlotte, the football player that went to FAMU. He got in a car accident and he was hurt. He went to somebody's door, knocked on their door. They called the police. Police get there. He's asking the police for help. They shoot him 10 times. You haven't heard much about that, though, since it happened.
No,
you know what I'm
man,
saying?
that's
I ain't never heard about it.
You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man.
And it's now, I'm to the point now where I'm like, this not gonna stop. And then my mind reverts back, like we should have never integrated. We should have stayed segregated, because I can name plenty of situations where black people had their own everything. If you've seen the movie Rosewood, you know that's a true story. You're talking about black clergymen, black people that own their own thrift stores, black pastors, black people that had their own farms, their own cotton mills, all of that. And a group of white people decided, well, we're going to take this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I feel like we should have.
You good, man? You good?
I feel like we should have never integrated, because now white people look at us as being inferior, which that's cool. But if we were segregated, it'd be even better. Okay, you think I'm inferior, just as long as you don't cross that gun line.
Talking about the gun line, boss.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But now that we're integrated, we have to pretend. So if I make a comment and say, and forgive me for whoever look at this, if I make a comment and say, I'm not fond of crackers, that's going to blow up. You see what I'm saying? A white man can come on here and call me a monkey, and he'll get a pat on his ass. Pretty much, especially from the white community. You get on Facebook, if you follow ABC 11, and if you follow the headlines that they put out every day on Facebook, and if you read the comments that white people make,
man, look,
and not only do they make those comments, when a black person comes back and makes a comment, that black person is kicked off of Facebook. I'm doing 30 days now because I made a comment to a white man that called a black woman a monkey.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yo, it's crazy how you notice how the media is controlled. You know, once you start delving into it, like your situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to defend, you know, my black sister, and
you know what I'm saying?
I get put in Facebook jail. Like,
so that's what I'm talking about. 30 days too. And let me see. I'm gonna show y'all. I think I still got like 6 more days to go.
Hey, free curry.
Yeah,
free curry.
Let me see. I got 5 more days.
Wow.
Hey, cuz it'll be free in 6. We're gonna have a welcome home Facebook.
Yeah, welcome home Facebook group
party.
Yeah,
y'all know what it is.
You gotta create a room. Yeah, we're gonna create a room.
6 days. Y'all know what it is.
But it's like, it's a problem. Black people, we don't really have a voice because we getting taken down by everything, like even on Facebook. So you telling me this person can say how he feel? He can call black people coon, monkey, nigger. You know what I'm saying? But if I react to that, because everything has a reaction. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an issue at that point.
Yeah, it's an issue. So
brings me to a point I wanted to bring up, because I knew we were going to get to this point. I was watching an interview. It's a Fox News interview. The anchor was black, and the young man that was the activist was black. His name escapes me at the moment. But anyway, the anchor, the Fox anchor man, was an Uncle Tom, and the way he was. So he was asking the young man the questions like, so, you know, the only reason that black communities are failing is because, you know, they have high criminal rates. And the activist was explaining it's a mindset that was put on us, you know, even during slavery. Right. You know, separate the family, raise the kids with no father, you know, no guidance, you know, it's a constant circle. And that's what he was explaining. And the anchor man was saying, he was like, well, that didn't happen to me, and that's fine. You know, it's going to take its effect on everybody differently.
Let me stop you right there. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You got something to say?
Black people that say that do not understand their history. Everything that happened in the past affects who you are as a woman, man, especially as a black woman or a black man. I don't give a fuck if you didn't go through slavery. Somebody in your lineage dealt with slavery, and we still dealing with slavery now. They don't call us slaves now. They call us criminals.
Yeah.
They call us thugs.
And he brought that point up.
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
You know,
They call us boy.
Working in prisons for $2.30 a day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just
you got private investors making millions of dollars off the prison system.
They closing down state.
Alec, the company that be doing that.
Yeah. They're closing down state prisons. Like my job now, I deal with state prisons. So if when they started closing them down, matter of fact, was it early? It was either early this year or late last year. They closed down like 4 state prisons.
Right.
Why did they close down those prisons? Because they're gonna knock those buildings down and put up privately owned prisons.
And they blame it on the fact that they can't hire people, which is true to a certain extent. COs are underpaid.
Highly.
See what I'm saying? So, I'm not going to risk my life every day, for this, chump change. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You talking about
because you locked up with them too.
You're talking about being on the front line with people who don't have nothing to lose. You got people that's been in prison 40 years for murder, ain't never coming home. They don't have nothing to lose. So I see it as though systematic racism. It's another way that white people have decided that they can make money off of black people. This is the problem with us integrating. I don't care who don't like it, whoever watches this, whoever's not black that watches this. This was the problem with integrating because it forced us when we were segregated as black people to do everything on our own. How many black farmers do you know now?
One.
How many black grocery store owners do you know now? No. We integrated with the thought that we will be treated equal, but how many people do you know? How many black CEOs on Wall Street do you know? How many black NFL owners do you know? How many black NBA owners do you know? How many black white hockey team owners do you know?
Golly.
I don't even know a black hockey player.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man, we ain't getting no. But no, in all seriousness though.
So what if we would have stayed segregated and did everything on our own? How many black grocery store owners do you know?
All right, I'm glad you said that. Durham is a perfect example.
It is.
Before 147, Durham was popping.
Yeah. Black
Wall Street was popping.
It was. But the problem with that was we were doing stuff on our own, but we were still trying to be integrated. You see what I'm saying? If we would have stayed segregated, it would have been harder for white folks to take what we have. There's no way in the world that you could tell me a mob of white people took over an entire town. Rosewood, Florida was a black town. They took over the entire town.
Oh, I'm very familiar with the movie.
If you go down there now, all you're going to see is a bunch of trees and a landmark post. And we talking about, that was 1920s. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's 2020, so we talking, 100 years?
Yeah. By the time our grandparents would have been.
Exactly. So if we was doing that and trying to be equal and integrated, think about what we could have been doing if we was followed Malcolm X and said, nah, let's stay segregated. And because we now in a situation where we got to deal with the police. And then on top of that, you got to deal with what's going on in your household. Black women as a whole do not feel protected by black men. And I have to agree because it's just the truth.
I dig it.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that everything is the white man's fault. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you could take Black Wall Street in Durham in the 1950s and the 1960s, Emory Wood Estates in Durham, right by Hillside, all of that was full of black people. And in that time, those were considered to be $1 million homes.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You go to Emory Wood now, yeah, you see white folk, black folk, Hispanics, whatever race that can afford to live out there is living out there. My thing is, like I said, we doing all of that think about how much more power we would have had if we would have stayed segregated.
Right.
We wouldn't have had to depend on somebody that's not black that say, well, I sympathize with y'all, but the whole time he's got an agenda to take over what you started.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
The only black bank in Durham now, Mutual, Mechanics and Farmers. Name me one person you know that banked there.
My dad.
Your dad, your mom. But see, that's only 2 people out of hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Yeah, it's like we do want like everybody's been saying, support black-owned businesses, and we definitely want to, but I think there's still like that stigma too around black-owned businesses, so a lot of people are nervous about putting their support, especially putting their money.
Yeah, because we fucked that up ourselves as black people, because we are the people, we the only race that won't look out for each other. I'll undercut AJ or overcharge him, but do right by a white customer.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Or you plagiarize your whole book, but we ain't gonna.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna jump into that.
No, be like B. Simone and
I won't try to say her name.
Drop.
Look, she's super mad at me. She tweeted me. She's super mad at me.
That's all right. She could be mad.
She's super mad at me. I was going hard though, but I mean, my thing is this: if you are a staple to black women, black women want to be you. They idolize you. They see you as, oh, I can get to her level. Cool. Don't put out bullshit. First of all, the quality of the product was bullshit. Then second of all, you plagiarized the shit? Like, come on, man.
Plagiarize the word for word.
You literally put hot shit in a book and gave it to niggas.
And you see what I'm saying? We were more focused on doing something greater when we were segregated. Now we do dumb shit. Because I can't sit up here and just speak about what Caucasian people do. Because I have to also speak about my own community. And I feel like during segregation, we did a lot of great things. We did it better. And what you have now is a lot of great people that are black that are making cash flow.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Just killing the game. But I don't know too many black people that come back to their community. So I could have $100 million tomorrow and say fuck Durham. But then also come in and say I love my black brothers and sisters and I stand for the movement. No, you don't. Not saying that you got to go out and give every black person $1,000. Nah, start a community center.
Yeah.
Give something. Kids ain't been to school. Yeah, kids haven't been to school since March 13th in North Carolina. Give them something to do versus going out in the streets and raising their stock of being killed by a white police officer.
Outside playing hee-haw with the fuck around game. Yeah.
Exactly. That is our biggest problem as black people, though. We just doing, for simple terms, we do a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
We do a lot of dumb shit.
So let me ask you this. And I had this idea in my head. If they did not, I'm not gonna say they, because I have my own conspiracy theories on the fact. But if Nip was still with us, do you think he would have been that figure for us during our lifetime?
I think so, because he had already moved into that realm. He went back to his neighborhood and bought the entire block, and he produced jobs for a lot of people. Right. When you have your own shopping center, you're doing something. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? If I got my own shopping center and I got 10 stores, that's at least 100 people that I have employed. Right. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think so, because he had already moved into that direction. If you listen to his lyrics.
All right. So, Curry, you was talking about Nip and
yeah, I think I don't know if y'all probably saw it, the dude Whack 100. when Nipsey died, he was saying Nipsey wasn't a legend.
Yep.
That's why. Why would you say that?
Because it was the same thing I was talking about. A lot of times when black folk come together, we find some type of way to undercut what another black person is doing.
It's that crabs in the barrel mentality.
It's the crabs in the barrel mentality. So he was saying that he's not a legend musically, and I disagree, because if you listen to Nip's lyrics, how they changed over the years, you see what I'm saying?
From Bullets Ain't Got No Names to The Marathon Continues.
Yeah.
Mailbox Money, man. He was speaking that truth.
Come on,
Blue
man.
Laces, you know what I'm saying? Blue Laces 2, his second verse started off, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. I fuck with Rich Ross because he teaching wealth.
Right.
Dropped out of school, I'm gonna teach myself. Made my first meal on my own. I don't need your help.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? He's the only, I don't know any other rapper, and it's documented that he was selling his mixtapes for $1,000.
And Jay-Z bought a couple.
And he sold them out. Yeah. And he sold out. You see what I'm saying? That right there, that right there is a game changer in itself in your neighborhood. Who says you can't be a legend? You could be a legend just in your neighborhood. And that's progress. Because with gentrification, it's not just black folk anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's all kinds of races. So you preaching your ideologies now to all kinds of races, and you looking out for your own people. So yeah, I think if Nip was still alive, he'd probably be like J. Cole. If y'all notice, J. Cole, every time something has happened, when Michael Brown got killed in St. Louis, J. Cole was there.
Right.
When Eric Garner got killed in New York, J. Cole was there.
Right.
J. Cole was in Fayetteville protesting
behind
George Floyd. He was somewhere else. I can't think of where. I can't think.
He wasn't in Raleigh, wasn't he?
I don't think he was in Raleigh, but he got that influence.
I mean, I would have expected him to be in Raleigh since he lives in Raleigh.
Yeah, you got other rappers.
Yeah,
you got other rappers like
North Hills,
Killer Mike, which is, I think he is one of the most intelligent black men right now. If you look at his Breakfast Club interview he had on the Cripicola.
Yeah.
He was talking about education. Him, T.I., what T.I.'s been doing lately. T.I. been on the front lines. If it's a restaurant in Atlanta and the owner is white, and he make a comment, T.I. is right outside that door.
Right.
And then he got thousands of people behind him. T.I. talked the man off a damn ledge, like 40, 50 stories high. He talked him down. So you got certain people that are actually doing in their community. Then you got folks like Whack 100 that make certain comments. I was always taught, be very careful how you speak on the dead. You see what I'm saying? I feel like if he was gonna make that kind of comment about Nipsey, he should have said that shit when Nipsey was alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You talking about, well, he didn't do this. He didn't sell out no world tours. Everything that comes to rap nowadays is not about that.
Nah.
You got rappers right now like
easily clearing 2 million a year.
like what's the girl from around here? Rhapsody.
Yeah.
She like one of the hardest rappers to me. Actually, I think she's top 3. I would put her and Young M.A. in my top 3. Female rapper.
Okay.
And with Young M.A., it's a lot of dude rappers out here that can't stick with her. That can't step with her.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot it. Listen to it like this, because I was in the studio with Rhapsody. Like when we were all in the biology building, North Carolina Central University, with Naya. I was in there with her. So imagine this. You got me, you got Mark Still, you got the M1 Platoon, you got GQ, you got who else was there? Big Sean and Mike Posner used to stop by when they used to come to Duke. You had all these males in there, and Rhapsody was the only female in there. She had to show out. It got to the point where she would leave and go into one of the classrooms to write because she had to focus. Because, put a whole bunch of niggas in the room with some notepads and a beat. We try to rap our verses or whatever. Yeah, man, mumbling and shit. But every time, and she used to take long as hell to write a verse. But every time she came with it.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I was impressed.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
You don't have to just rap now. There's so many stuff. When you have that type of platform, there's so much stuff that you can do within your community. Like I said, T.I. and Killer Mike have been leading the community for a long time. I saw the video clip where Dick Gregory cussed him out. Like, what y'all niggas gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And Killer Mike talked about this on the Breakfast Club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I actually saw the clip. Dick Gregory was like, what the fuck y'all niggas gonna do? Oh, protest. We've been doing that shit for 50 years. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to my other point. I hate black people, and I hate to do this, but fuck it. One black person in particular, a black woman at that, Candace Owens. Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it. She, without a doubt, supports Donald Trump. And you could say, well, Donald Trump does this, Donald Trump does that. Okay, that's all well and good. But now, if you're a protester, you can't be carrying a firearm. But I could take you to Pittsburgh right now. We go downtown, and you're going to see Klansmen standing in front of the judicial building.
Yeah.
Just like they always are.
Yeah.
They're going to be strapped up.
Right.
And there's no problem. Police officer ride by. Police officers that don't try to hide their racism, they might get out of the car, take pictures with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So who are you speaking to when you say you can't protest and have a firearm on your hip? Who is that for?
Because if you look at it in the literal sense, both groups of people are protesting. The Klansmen that are in front of that judicial building are protesting. The black people and the people who support the movement who are walking down the street passing that judicial building are also protesting.
And I don't even look at it. I guess you could say, yeah, it's cool. I guess you could just say I'm prejudiced. Black people can't be racist because we don't have the power structure to be racist. So I would say that I am prejudiced because I studied history in college. It's one of the best things and also one of the worst things I could have done in my lifetime. Like I just showed you the picture of the white man with the rocket launcher in Subway.
Right.
Nothing happened to him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Picture,
rocket launcher.
you know what I'm saying? Picture me with a rocket launcher and 2 firearms on my hip. Think about what would happen to me. Me being a teacher, that's automatic termination.
yep.
I'm going to prison.
Right.
Not just jail. I'm not going to just do county time. I'm looking at federal time.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No, they throwing the whole book at you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take the situation in Charlottesville. We protesting because we want equal rights. We want to be treated superior like white folk have for so long. Go back in history and look at all the money that white people made in Prohibition. Look at JFK father.
Mm-hmm.
He became rich behind Prohibition, the illegal sale of liquor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's also how NASCAR started. If you
Name
didn't
me
know.
one black person that's documented that you know that made millions of dollars during Prohibition. Exactly. So we've been dealing with this shit for a long time, and I'm not even for the protesting anymore. And the reason why I say that is because I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of having to walk 12, 14, 16, 20 blocks and getting on a bullhorn to say what white folk already know.
Yeah.
You Feel what I'm saying? And even the black folk like Candace Owens that okay that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can find one other black person that's more into Donald Trump and the Republican Party than her. The only one I could name is Dennis Rodman.
He's weird anyway, man. He's been weird since we've known him. So.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, since he was Dennis.
But it's facts. She is the only person, and she's an intelligent black woman. She has certain things that she says, like situation with black fathers not being in the homes anymore. It's an alarming rate.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And it's been that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But for her to openly, I would say, I hope you don't receive no backlash for this, but for her to openly,
get your clip off, dog.
For her to openly endorse racism, because "Make America Great Again," that to me, that's a slogan for racism. The only time that America was great was 7 years after the Civil War. I learned that from Killer Mike.
Okay.
And yeah, you can go later on in history. You could take the Harlem Renaissance. Yeah, black people progressed when we're doing well. But at the same time, they were dealing with racism. There's so many black people that we don't even know about that's dead because of the hands of a white man. Reese Taylor. Have you ever heard of that name?
Nope.
She was raped by 7 or 8 white men walking home from church.
Wow. So this is like during the day.
This was, I can't remember the exact year, but this was 1950s. I want to say Mississippi.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's either Mississippi or Alabama.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You're talking about stuff that nobody knows about. Why? Every white American that has done something in America, good or bad, we know about it.
Mm-hmm.
We even know about Dynamite Bob. That's the person that killed the 4 little girls at 16 Baptist Church.
Yeah.
We know about him. That's all he did. He was a racist, and he got his fame, unfortunately, off of killing little girls, black little girls at that. The men that killed Emmett Till, that's all they did. They got their fame off of racism. Candace Owens would look you in your eye and say racism don't exist. And not just her, Lil Wayne. Ever since he's been rich, he has disconnected himself from black people.
Yep.
Even T.I. has gotten on his ass. In the Instagram post. Why? That's my question. Why? Why would you say that? How can you be a black man or woman and openly endorse Donald Trump? Because you got Donald Trump getting on national TV and saying white nationalists, some of them are good people. How? Because a white nationalist is nothing but the KKK.
Right. Right. And it's so crazy that all right, so for instance, we all know the origin of gangs. Bloods and Crips came from the Black Panther Party, right? So in certain counties in LA, it's an act of terrorism to have your flag, have your bandana, right? It's an act of terrorism. So it's so crazy that they broke down the structure of the Black Panther Party so much that they got down to the subsidiaries of it, but they never started touching the KKK until now. They never brought it up until them being any kind of a terrorist group.
In my opinion, they not even touching the KKK now, because it took J. Edgar Hoover, I would give him a solid 10 years to fully break the Black Panther Party down. Huey Newton, when he got killed, he was a drug addict. But you're talking about somebody that had master degrees, PhDs. But he died a drug addict. I don't know that's documented. I don't know any member or former member of the Ku Klux Klan that has had to deal with. You just take the Black Panther Party by itself, or I just take one person. I take Fred Hampton.
Okay.
We know what the Ku Klux Klan is. We know why they originated. We know what they did in history. Fred Hampton got killed when he was 21 years old, in bed sleep. His wife and the child in her womb, or was the baby? I'm trying to remember. Was the baby born? I can't remember. But anyway,
There's a child involved.
yeah. You are asleep in your bed. Same thing what happened to Breonna Taylor. A no-knock warrant. The fuck is that? When the last time you heard of a no-knock warrant being used on a white household?
Never.
Granted, I'm not going to say that it hasn't happened, because you got poor white people too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's never happened, but it's not documented. You see what I'm saying? How do you go into somebody's house and kill them because they believe in a certain type of agenda for their own people, but you can tell me in the same breath that the Ku Klux Klan are good people? You talking about an organization that was okay with bombing a church, but you preach Christianity. But you bombed the church because it's a black church, and you kill 4 little girls. You kill 4 black girls that don't have nothing to do with anything. When we talk about protesting and rioting and the Ku Klux Klan, the Black Panther Party, and all of these organizations, this is about grown folk. Yeah, the Black Panther Party took care of kids. They gave free courses and free food and did this and free blood drives and all of that. Even the Ku Klux Klan, unfortunately, they taught their kids how to light dynamite, tie nooses. You know what I mean? Use firearms.
Yeah.
I think, like, when I look at Donald Trump now, I just get disgusted. Because people can say, well, he did approve the stimulus check, $1,200. That's fine.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second. I was actually having a conversation with my family this weekend about this, man. And my thing is, okay, one of the things that I know that needs to be taught in school is finance.
Right.
Whenever I have kids, if I'm blessed to have children, whenever I have kids, before they leave high school, they're going to know how to work credit. They're going to know how to invest in stocks. They're going to know the different types of things you can do at a bank. It's not just to hold your money or to have your check deposited to.
Right.
They're gonna be financially sound.
Right.
Before they leave my house and go to college,
right.
Because I wasn't taught that. I fucked my credit up in college.
Me too.
They came through the student union was credit cards. Sign up now. Yeah. Nigga, shit, free money. You know, overcharge that shit and then fuck your credit up.
Yeah, and that's how we look at it. And see, that also goes back to my point about integrating. Do you think now, if we would have still been segregated and had our own schools, we have our own HBCUs, black folk won't go to them. They think it's more honorable to go to a Yale or Harvard,
PWI,
or UCLA. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually, as a black person, more honorable to go to Morehouse, to go to Spelman, to go to Tuskegee, to go to FAMU, to go to Grambling, to go to North Carolina Central, to go to Shaw. Shaw is the oldest black American college in America.
That's right.
The Delaney sisters, the black women that lived over 100 years, they went to St. Aug. Martin Luther King went to Morehouse, and before that, he went to Benjamin Franklin High School. And like I said before on a different podcast up here, show me a nigga that was smarter than MLK. Name me one. The only person that may be close to him is Malcolm X and Barack Obama. And I'll throw in Marcus Garvey as well.
Yeah. But you know what, man?
We don't have financing in school. It's because I look at it as if I learn financial literacy in middle school, then I have an advantage.
Right.
As a black man towards white America, because that's where we live. They don't teach that.
I'm gonna tell you
For a long time, they taught us that Christopher Columbus founded America.
That's the bigger lie than the Easter Bunny.
Right.
That's a bigger lie than the Easter Bunny, man. But no, when you say that, man, I'm so serious when you say that. So mine has a friend. I grew up with her kids or whatever. She had a daughter the same age as me. When her daughter was like a sophomore or junior in college, she bought her first house because her mom taught her
financial
responsibility, financial literacy. She taught her how to work the system. She had a 3-bedroom townhouse.
Right.
Paid for. By the time she was a sophomore, junior in college.
And see, as if we could have stayed segregated and if we could have stayed together, everybody could have been doing that. We have our own malls. We have our own gas stations. We have our own car shops. We have our own car dealerships.
Yeah.
We have our own hospitals. We have our own banks. We have our own schools. We have our own land. We have black farmers, black grocery stores, black liquor stores, black clothing stores, black retail stores, thrift stores, whatever kind of store or whatever a person that spends their money on. I watched the interview with Killer Mike, and he said, in 6 hours in the black community, black people only spend $1 in that community. Think about how terrible that is. So in 12 hours, a black community made $2. In a day, it made $4.
That's crazy.
7 times 4, in a week, it made $28. So what did integration really do for us? Because you can't tell me where it helped. It helps the black athlete now. Yeah, you get national exposure if you go to University of North Carolina or Duke University, but people like Stephen A. Smith went to Winston-Salem State.
He sure did.
Earl the Pearl went to Winston-Salem State. You see what I'm saying? So what has integration really done? Because we still dealing with racism.
Right.
Like I said, they might not. You have bold white people that'll call you a nigger, but they rather call you a criminal now.
Yeah.
They rather you be locked up. They're talking about letting Bernie Madoff out of federal prison. He stole $68.4 billion from 240 of his clients.
He ain't nothing but right up the road at Butner.
You know what I'm saying? He right in Butner.
Look,
but there's negotiations going on about letting him out. But you mean to tell me he stole $68 billion from 250 clients that he had? I could go out right now and get caught with 5 kilograms of cocaine. 5 bricks of cocaine. I will receive life in prison.
Yeah.
No priors. No nothing. But you telling me that a man that money laundered through a Ponzi scheme all that money. Think about $68 billion. If he would have got away with that, he would have more money now than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is worth $150 billion through Amazon.
Yeah.
He would have more money than that.
Yeah. Shit, he would have started Amazon if that was the case.
10 years ago, Bernie Madoff was worth more money than Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is almost, what is he worth, like $100 billion? But you telling me that's not systematic racism. Okay, yeah, he's doing time. But for you to even have the discussion is a slap in my face, because R. Kelly is somebody that's never getting out. What he did was terribly wrong. But he wasn't selling no drugs. He didn't take from people in that way. I don't know no other person that took almost $100 billion. You got 250 clients with your company. And collectively, they had $65 billion. And you take all of that. And then on top of that, your family was involved. You know, God rest his soul, because I don't speak bad about the dead. Your son, he killed himself. And then you got a daughter that's out. She didn't serve no time, but she was the acting CEO of your company.
See, I didn't even know about that part.
Yeah, because it goes.
Oh, she holding the money.
Yeah, it goes.
She holding the money.
Yeah, it goes deeper.
We are back. We didn't leave already. I don't know how you gonna edit this, John. But
we on y'all ass.
But yeah, man. Yo, Curry, I appreciate you coming through, man. It was doing this particular podcast. Matter of fact, V had mentioned it before, and she was like, you know, are we gonna touch on it? And I was trying to figure out a way to attack it. I don't know why I didn't think of you. And I was telling you outside,
because you have to.
Yeah, it has to be touched on. You know, I would be. Well, me and V would be irresponsible if we did not have at least one podcast where we touched on the issue.
Yeah, we have to, because, and I'm gonna be real quick, but I look at it now like this shit not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. It's up to black people. If you are truly tired, then be truly tired. Arm yourself. I tell every black woman that I encounter, buy a firearm to protect yourself. I tell every black man that can, buy a firearm to protect yourself and your household. Take care of your black woman. I'm not saying that, you know, you may fall in love with a woman of a different nationality. That's fine. But if you have the opportunity to correctly love a black woman, then you should do that.
Do it.
Then you should do that. Because as a black man, every other race protects their own. It's okay when the Chinese father tells his Chinese daughter, I want you to marry a Chinese man. Some reason in the black community, it's an issue. You see it on Facebook all the time. If I'm black, I'm a black man, I'm a black father, I have a black daughter. I tell her, I want you to marry a black man. You know, ultimately, that may not happen, but I'm going to receive so much backlash. Oh, you're going to love who you love.
Right.
The black race is not sticking up for the black race. At the end of the day, white folk stick up for white folk. At the end of the day, Hispanic folk stick up for Hispanic folk. Hispanic folk come over here, they have their own grocery stores. You go to Compare Foods. That is a Hispanic grocery store.
Yep. They got one in Raleigh by the gun range.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, they have their own banks.
That part. That's
and credit. It's a credit union.
Credit
too.
union at that. Yeah.
It's a credit union.
Was it Latino? The one downtown Latino.
The one down
Yeah.
from my house.
Yeah.
Latino credit union. It's still state though. It's state owned too.
Okay.
It's state owned, but what other bank
But it's still
that's
Latino
black
bank.
do you know in Durham? They got rid of First Union.
Yeah.
And niggas don't even go to mechanics and farmers no more. That's like for us, that's like a national landmark building now.
Yeah. Right. It's not nowhere where you would go bank.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I give you the choice, okay, you go to credit union, state employees, or you can bank with mechanics and farmers. 9 out of the 10 black folk gonna pick the credit union. Why? Because we got a lot of money. And if we used our dollars more, we could control more.
Right.
We could control more. So to all the black people out there, if a motherfucker call you racist, we don't have the power structure. You may be prejudiced, because I am. It's how I was raised. That's why I don't like people that say slavery didn't affect you. White, black, it doesn't matter. My father grew up in segregation. My father is really street.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a different fight. So when he got with his group of black people and went across town to beat up white folk, that's a street mentality. It's just not a drug mentality. He's not selling drugs.
Right. It's not.
You know what I'm saying? My father always told me, you are a soldier with the ability to be a leader. I'm militant minded because of my father. Everything that I've been through, everything that my ancestors have been through, I learned first through my father.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
That's the importance of having a male in the household.
I mean, and we can't grow.
It's different.
We can't grow if we don't know our history. You got people that, what's Juneteenth? How don't you don't know that this is a particular point in history where Texas decided to say, man, we're not gonna continue to do this slavery shit. This shit is dead. It's over with.
Yeah.
You have to know your history. You have to know where you come from. And black people come from amazing stock. We lost a lot of amazing stock due to racism. Mm-hmm. And it's still going. It's a lot of amazing stock that's locked behind walls right now. And yeah, it's a lot of them that they did the crime. But it's just as much as it's the people in there that did the crime, is also people in there. It's like neck and neck. Mm-hmm. Didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you watch these shows with these cold cases, or not cold cases, excuse me, with wrongful convictions. And they go back and, DNA and, realize that these people wasn't even in the same state.
You got black men doing 45 years in prison, survive prison, get out, and get $1 million maybe. And that's before the taxes.
Yeah, not even that. Yeah.
And that's before the taxes. But you got somebody like Bernie Madoff, like we said earlier, his daughter sitting on that money. Because the federal government didn't recover all that money.
Yeah, and when he get out, he's going to be a billionaire.
Exactly.
At minimum, a multi-millionaire.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's a longer conversation for a later time, man.
And I got a question for, and I'm through. I got a question for white folks. The ones that stand with us and the ones that stand against us. What is so wrong with a human having black skin? So when you see this podcast, jump on it and answer that question.
It's $1 million question right there. All right, y'all. It's KvngBak, Drinks and Discussion Podcast. Make sure you follow us. Drinks and Discussion Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. D&D Podcast, D&D Pod, excuse me, on Instagram. Follow me, KvngBak, KvngBak, on all social media platforms. Follow cameraman AJ at New Wave Lil on Instagram. Get your video work done. V, what you?
Well, I thought you were going to say.
No, I mean, I saw AJ in his phone, so I know he wasn't ready. So,
Miss Vee _D&D on both Instagram and Twitter.
Follow me, Po Durham, on Facebook. Or hit my email address, JAYBERNARD88@gmail.com.
all right. The right link. All right, but we're getting ready to get out of here.